So we're going to talk about this idea of creating square foot rain gardens. Basically, that's taking the idea of a rain garden, the idea of square foot gardening, combining the two seems kind of like a logical step to us at least. Most people know what rain gardens are or have an idea about rain gardens, but we wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what rain gardens provide us. Now, rain gardens can offer homeowners an inexpensive and simple solution to stormwater runoff on their properties. They also add an aesthetic addition. So a lot of times people have a wet area in their yard, or they have a downspout in the front yard and they'd like to do something to spice it up. So a rain garden is a great example of a way to deal with stormwater on your property, but also give you an aesthetic appeal. Now, rain gardens do a lot of different things other than just giving you that aesthetic appeal and cleaning up that wet section of the yard. They help filter pollution, they recharge groundwater, they help improve water quality, and a plethora of other things that aren't listed on this. And mosquitoes is one that a lot of people are worried about, putting a wet area in your yard for mosquitoes. So, now, with rain gardens, there is some insulation and some things that go into that. You have to excavate soil from your lawn, replace it with amended soils. You define the bed. You need to buy plants, get them in the ground. Mulching the bed or putting stone on the bed, whatever. And that, depending on the size of your rain garden and depending on how in depth you're getting with this, the costs and the time that it takes to do this can vary considerably. And that is one of the things that has driven us to this idea. Another great thing about rain gardens is that they are very low maintenance once you get them in the ground. So, if people are worried about how much it takes to get them in the ground, the trade-off is that once they're there, the maintenance is very, very minimal. You come in, you clean out the bed in the fall or in the beginning of the spring, removing all dead plant materials, cutting back plants. It's easy, with a string trimmer you can come in, knock them down, clean them up, and you're out in no time. But that's in an urban setting, that still could be a problem because people may not have string trimmers, or they don't have they don't have the space for it, or there are lots of different things. Now, when planning a rain garden, and especially with our idea of square foot rain gardens, there's things you need to think about before you do it. Now, one of the things is definitely location, which Matt will get into a little bit, but there's make sure you don't have it right next to your house, so you're not collecting water right next to your foundation, so you're getting water in your basement. Making sure that you have the right soils, with a rain garden in your yard, a large one, you're digging it up, you may have thick clay soils or really sandy soils, and so you'll have to amend that to allow the water to either drain correctly or to pool correctly. And then choosing plants is very important based on where it is, how much sun, which the first group that talked about rain gardens got into a little bit. And so it's just, you don't want to just jump into putting a rain garden out there. It's good to look at it. Now, for the square foot rain gardens, our premise was that it's an urban setting, people don't have room, what can they do? And that's one of the main things, is that the people lack the area. They may want to have a rain garden, but they lack the area, and then the costs are considerable. So what we wanted to do was promote an idea for rain gardens to the community, that when you don't know the costs and stuff that go with it, we created an idea that would give you a specific cost for a specific area of a rain garden that can be changed to meet your needs. And so people with limited space that want to do it can go ahead and have a rain garden in their area, and Matt's going to tell you a little bit about how to get that.
Okay. Part of the problem we always had with rain gardens is we didn't know how much to tell people they would cost. We also had some other people that came in that either rented property or had limited space or just wanted to start off small. So we tried to set it up with a different ideal of, you can have a rain garden that can be used by someone with limited space, cost can be controlled, and it's expandable or removable. And removable is also a key thing to look at if you're renting a place, or if you decide you want to move, or if you decide you want to go full bore. So what we did is we just came up with what would it cost and how much would you need. So I came up with a basic list of stuff that I could use to put a rain garden on the ground. Total investment minus the plants was $58. What that included was a large bag of peat moss, some 2x6s, some filter material, some garden soil just to help the plants get started off, and a bag of mulch. Find your location. Of course, it's a little bit too close to the house, but it gives you an idea of what we're trying to do. We also understand that you're not going to be able to run a large section of your roof off into this. We do know that. Just like I said, this is just to get someone started. These little pop-ups are the best thing to put in. Unfortunately, I could not find one at the 3 places I stopped trying to find one when I was setting this up. But this gives you an idea. You add the backfill, you start planting your plants, then you can add your mulch. This is a list, a quick list of plants that you could use. These were the ones that were suggested for this small area. Another thing to also look at is this rain garden could technically be portable. You could actually build this, put it on a trailer, take it to a 4-H fair or something like that, or take it somewhere else and let people take a look at this. Total investments in the plants was $80 to $100. So your total investment for this is $140 to $160, depending on how much you want to do. It literally took 20 minutes to cut 2 2x6s in half and put them together and figure out a spot to put them. Square foot rain gardens can be in an urban area where where space is limited, cost estimates are simple and controlled, and can be modified to meet individual needs, which means we can expand these. So let's say someone wanted an 8-foot one. You could double it in size, or you could start moving it around. Square foot gardens are simple to install and can be easily removed. They're also easily maintained, and they create curb appeal in a limited space. The good thing about these is you can reach right over them and do any weeding that you may need to do. That's the end. That's all I have. I'm not going to say.